Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my transfer plans for Game Week 8 and take a look at how we got on in Game Week 7. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, what are your Game Week 8 transfer plans, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, Game Week 7 brought with it a red arrow, unfortunately. The green arrow streak has stopped. It's not been a crazy red arrow. I went from like 1 mil to 1.2 mil. Finished on 67 points with a Game Week rank of 4.2 mil. And yeah, my midfielders kind of just saved me this week, even though it was a red arrow. Semenyo and Kudus combining for a total of 30 points was quite nice. But yeah, apart from that, only the returns were from Haaland and Raya. So I didn't make a transfer this week. I decided not to bring Gabriel into the team, just simply because I kind of wanted a couple of free transfers for the international break. And the team didn't look terrible on paper. Like, I didn't really know where that Liverpool-Chelsea game was going to go. But either way, Raya was 6 points. Senesi with only 2 points. Finally, he is human. Did not get DEFCON contributions for Game Week 7, but it is what it is. Van Dijk with another 1-pointer, back-to-back 1-pointers. I don't actually think I've gotten any points from Van Dijk since I brought him. It's been an absolute terrible transfer. Konza, another player that's just really, really unfortunate. I mean, the clean sheets are just not happening for Villa. The only time that they got a clean sheet, I think I benched him. Didn't get anything against Sunderland, didn't get anything against Burnley. Very close to getting a goal, though. The goalkeeper made a terrific save, which would have been really, really nice. And then Lacroix picking up 3 points with those DEFCONs. But yeah, the defenders just did not turn up this week. Raya with the 6-pointer was nice, but apart from that, nothing at the back. Obviously, Gabriel getting that 9-pointer was also really annoying, because my transfer this week would have been Van Dijk out for Gabriel in. But like I said, I did kind of want 2 free transfers going into the international break, but you know, it did cost me 8 points at the end, so not ideal. Also, Reinders with 3 points, Kudus with 12. It was nice for Kudus to finally haul for me, because he's got like an assist here and there, but getting a 12-pointer was really nice. Did outscore Bruno Fernandes, so that was also quite nice, because I think most people went for Bruno on like wildcard and stuff, and obviously I went for Kudus, so it was nice for him to finally outscore him for once. And then Semenyo with a big 18-pointer was my vice-captain. Wouldn't have minded if Haaland took the day off, but yeah, it didn't really matter, because obviously everybody had Semenyo regardless and Haaland. But yeah, Gyökeres with another 2-pointer. Just, I don't even know, man. I don't know what's going on with Gyökeres. I thought that he'd come good, but he's just not really worth it. I think that Saka might be coming into the team and Gyökeres might be leaving it, but we'll see what happens there. And then João Pedro with another 2-pointer. Again, I don't even think he's registered a shot on target in the last like 4 or 5 games. Not really great. He's going to get transferred out a lot over the international break. Probably going to go down in price, but just hasn't really been on it. But there's not really any other striker options that I'm kind of looking at and wanting to bring in instead, especially with like Richarlison getting benched and stuff. Like, obviously his minutes are now all over the place. So yeah, it's a little bit of a tough one on who to bring in for that third striker role. And then Dubravka with a 2-pointer, Paquetá with 1 point, Rodon with 1 point, and then Dewsbury Hall with 0, because obviously he couldn't play. So yeah, all in all, 67 points. Not a terrible week. You know, the red arrow wasn't fun, but apart from that, I don't think 67 points warranted a 4.2 mil game week rank, though. I think I was on a green arrow until like all the points got or until all the bonus points kind of like got confirmed and stuff last night. So I don't know if I'd like missed out on a load of points. The only one that I'm really thinking of at the top of my head is Gabriel, but I think Kudus kind of like covered him. So yeah, I don't know where all these other points kind of came from. There was not really any like big hauls from a player that I don't really have. So yeah, either way, at the end of the day, red arrow, 67 points going into the international break. Let's take a look at what the team looks like for Game Week 8. So this is the team that I've currently got for Game Week 8. We've got Raya, who's got Fulham away, Senesi with Palace away, Van Dijk with Man United at home, Lacroix with Bournemouth at home, Paquetá with Brentford at home, Reinders with Everton at home, Kudus with Villa at home, Semenyo with Crystal Palace away, Haaland with Everton at home, Gyökeres with Fulham away, and then João Pedro with Forest away as well. And on the bench, we've got Dubravka, who's got Leeds at home, Rodon with Burnley away, Konza with Spurs away, and then Dewsbury Hall with City away. So yeah, pretty much playing the exact same team, apart from obviously Konza going out for Paquetá coming in. I don't mind the team. Like, it doesn't look too bad on paper. There's just a lot of players that are just a little bit like dead wood in my team, right? Not that I need to get rid of, but just a little bit annoying that there's money tied up in these players and they're just not really doing anything for me. Like Van Dijk, like Gyökeres, like João Pedro. I will be wanting to get rid of Kudus probably quite soon. There's players that I need to bring in, such as Gabriel. Might be wanting to bring in Saka soon. Obviously, we'll talk about that in the transfer portion of the video. But yeah, I mean, this team doesn't look terrible on paper. I don't think I'll be bringing Gabriel in this week just because Fulham away it's a game that they should win, but it's not a game that I feel like I need Gabriel for. And the only other thing is, obviously, I've got like Semenyo playing Lacroix, you know, and stuff like that, which is a bit unfortunate because obviously I don't really like playing attackers versus defenders. Don't have to play Lacroix this week. Could play Rodon, who's got Burnley away, which again is something that I'm potentially thinking about doing. So it's not really, like I say, needing a transfer. But like I say, there's players like Saka that I wouldn't mind bringing in at all. But who would I get rid of him? Probably Renders. Yeah, he's very, very cheap, but he's not really offering anything. I think he came off on like the 77th minute last night in yesterday's game as well. So it's not really something that... He's not like a 90-minute nailed player that's doing really well. I don't think he's got a single return for me since I brought him in. He was mainly in there just because of price points and stuff. But yeah, like I said, I've got 2 frees. We'll talk about it more in the transfer portion of the video. But there's players like that I just kind of are wanting to get rid of soon and bring in other players that I think would just benefit my team a lot more than right now. But like I say, if I weren't to use a transfer going into game week 8, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because the team looks okay-ish. But like I say, it can definitely be improved. It's just this is kind of like what the team is looking like. Again, there could be injuries and stuff over the international break. That's kind of why I like having more than one transfer. It also kind of means you can do a couple of... It just kind of means you can do a couple of fun moves as well. Instead of just getting rid of one player, you can, like, getting rid of 2 and then bringing in 2 more players. It's just a little bit more exciting. But like I say, any injuries can happen and stuff, so it's mainly just to protect myself against those. But that's what the team's currently looking like for Game Week 8. Let's take a look at the transfer portion of the video. So this is the transfers. I've got 4.9 mil in the bank. Like I say, so much money tied up in my bank right now that I need to kind of just use and bring in some better players and stuff like that. As I said, a lot of deadwood in my team. Gyökeres, João Pedro, Renders, Virgil van Dijk, players like that. I'm not really too keen about keeping into my team. Even players like Konza as well, who don't have a ton of really, really good fixtures coming up. But yeah, I think Saka is definitely a player that I'm looking at. But obviously, if I want to bring in Gabriel as well, then I'd have to get rid of either Ray or Gyökeres. Because obviously you can only have 3 players from Arsenal. But again, don't think it'd be a fixture that I'm really bringing Gabriel in for Fulham away. It's not really, like, it's an alright fixture, but it's not something that I need him for. So it's one of those like, which midfielder do I get rid of for Saka, which I think would just be Renders, to be fair. So if I get rid of him for Saka, I don't know how much Saka is. He's 9.9, so I can just do that. I'll have 0.7 mil in the bank and bring Saka in. That's absolutely fine. And then, like I say, can't now bring in Gabriel as well because I'd have 4 Arsenal players, so I'd have to do something else with that. But again, I think it'd be Van Dijk out for Gabriel when I finally do that. So the only other really option is to potentially get rid of Gyökeres this week. But again, Fulham away, it's not really a fixture I have to get rid of him for. Like, it's not a bad fixture in the slightest. If anything, I kind of want to be bringing in a potential Newcastle player. I like the look of Gordon. I like the look of the Newcastle defence. They're looking very, very strong. Were very, very good against us at the weekend. So maybe somebody like Dan Burn or something could also be quite nice, and bring in him in for somebody like Konza or Lacroix or something, which I don't think is terrible. And then after that, I think the team looks okay-ish. You know, another player that I kind of potentially wouldn't mind having is Njai. You know, he did score a penalty, which was rough to see because I owned him for a lot of game weeks, and then for him to not get a penalty in any of those and then get one as like soon as I get rid of him was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, just can't obviously go up to him from Dewsbury Hall. I'd have to go with somebody else like Paquetá, but again, he's on penalties. West Ham, I've got a decent fixture run coming up as well, so there's no reason to get rid of him. And then the players as well, like João Pedro, I don't need to get rid of him. They've got really nice fixtures coming up. A Chelsea defender is somebody that I am kind of thinking of bringing in though. So what will probably be the case this week is I use a transfer on somebody like Konza, and then bring in Chalobah for him, who has obviously just has had a red card, but obviously he's back now. But he's got some really nice fixtures coming up, like Forest away, very good. I mean, we might not even have Ange by the time that game week rolls around. But yeah, after that he's got Sunderland at home, Spurs away, Wolves at home, Burnley away. Definitely a player that I want to bring in, and that'll leave me with 0.1 mil in the bank. And then obviously, if I don't actually think I can get to Gabriel if I do that, but I would probably be downgrading Gyökeres around that time to bring him in. So I think this looks a lot better, and I can do that with 2 moves. So if I get no injuries or anything over the international break, I could be bringing in Saka and Chalobah. But like I say, with Gabriel, I think he's 6.2, so I'm 0.1 off bringing in Virgil van Dijk, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Obviously, if any injuries happen, then that'll dictate the moves that I make. But if I can make 2 moves for free, that'll be what I go with. And then, like I say, I'll probably get rid of Gyökeres and Virgil van Dijk, and then that'll kind of sort me out for that. Because the Liverpool fixtures, I mean, they're in a little bit of a situation at the moment. He's not a player that I immediately need to get rid of. Like, I can play him against Man United at home, can play him against Brentford away. Villa at home's not too bad. And then, to be fair, after the City away fixture, Liverpool actually have some really good fixtures. They've got Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, Brighton, Wolves, Leeds. Leeds back-to-back 15 and 19. So it's not a player that I immediately need to get rid of. It's just the Arsenal fixtures are way better. But either way, that's what the current plans are for Game Week 8. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What are your transfer plans going into the next game week over the international break? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.